We're here. We've done it. We're here at the last week. And first, I should say, if you haven't finished the paper yet, remember, you have till the last day of the course, Sunday, at the end of the day to submit for just the 10% penalty. Anything you haven't submitted by then, the course is shut. Nothing else is accepted unless we've already got an incomplete plan in place. And if for some reason that's an issue for anyone, remember that's something that we have to have the limitations of that filled out, the proper forms filled out by Sunday. So if that is something that for some reason there's a legitimate reason to seek that, do that earlier rather than later to make sure we have time to do that. Beyond that, if you'll have feedback sooner or later for the papers, depending on where you've submitted them, you should have in-text and summary feedback. Although the in-text feedback will be approached differently at this point because I can't give you any feedback as far as editing purposes beyond just to let you know how it might affect your grade. It's more about the ideas and approach that you have that aren't so much necessarily part of the grading process, but just to kind of understand what I'm seeing out of your work and how you might be able to use that in the future. So for our last discussion, the future of the discipline. I can very honestly say, having been, I got my PhD in 2009, I have no idea what the future of the discipline is in the face of things like AI. I have not the foggiest idea if, human teachers are going to be valued that much anymore. I'm not so sure if most people could give a damn whether the history they read on the internet is written by a bot or an actual human being. And I don't even know if people are always necessarily worried if the history they read is that accurate versus if it's just entertaining or just aligns with whatever perspective they might have otherwise. I think this is a very challenging time for historians in the West right now, particularly perhaps American historians, though I think it is a phenomenon at least across the West, if not across the world, as to people deciding exactly what history should and shouldn't be. So this is a chance for you to really kind of, obviously you still need to engage with the evidence like every week to really understand, think about your goals for the discipline and where you see the discipline going to. What role do we have as the actual human beings who are studying history alongside, sites like, say, history.com, which are just throwing up whatever crap they can that isn't cited, isn't vetted, but probably has much more of an impact on an individual level than anything we might either write as historians and get published or even do in terms of public history as well. How many people are going to go to your museum versus look up World War II on history.com, something like that. So these are real complex questions, and I think it's changing quite a bit. The internet has really changed things, how people get information, the extent to which they even want to vet information, and where as historians our role might be changing. Are we more there to vet information that AI is producing to make sure it's like, oh, no, AI is not understanding that right at all. What is it that we're going to be doing in the future to continue the relevance and importance of historians to the extent that perhaps you see historians as relevant and important now in society. So this is usually a discussion that's all over the place in terms of how people see things. Again, embrace what you understand, what you see, what you think, what you feel. Use the resources to help kind of validate and help us see it through your eyes. And this should be a really strong discussion to close things out. So I know some of you, aside from everything else life throws at you on a given week, may have other classes to work on too to wrap up. If there's anything I can do to help you wrap things up here, just let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to everyone on the boards.